Zhao Hao YouTube, and welcome along to another day on site.
Today's task was to get the perimeter noggins in.
First fix is starting today and I want to make sure everything goes smoothly. Hi Alex.
Good morning, mate.
In case you hadn't noticed, we've all had haircuts. Oh yeah, we're looking good for camera. Bonjour YouTube. So today, Pete's had a haircut there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Looking good, Pete. Oh, look at that.
I'm worth it.
You will. Hopefully that goes in slow-mo.
I'm worth it.
Where was I? Oh yeah, bonjour YouTube. Today we are going to get on with these joists. Have got to go in here between our two steels. I'll show you in a second how Pete has machined one end up. So we're just going to take some measurements now and basically get the rest of them machined up, and then we can get all these dropped in today. So that will be a good job done. What we're going to do across here as well, you can see that we've got a few extra joists coming through here. There was a lintel that ran across underneath there. There was a nice concrete lintel that sat on top of that timber lintel, which is obviously not great. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a double joist in across here. We're going to put some hangers under these and drill through, through the double trimmer into these as well, so that everything there is nice and supported. We're obviously sat on top of the brickwork. We'll be in a pocket in there as well, so that will all be nice and solid. Everything else will sit on the steel. Once they're all in there, we'll lock it all in with some perimeter noggins, and that will be ready for the plumbers and electricians who are coming to start the first fix. We've got our roof, our temporary little roof space there, which we need to obviously do some more work on these rafters. We've got some fillet strips to go on to provide our fall, and then obviously some ply, and then we're going to get our fascia board on, ready for Will to come and do the flat roof. We'll be using the same system as we used over on the other flat roofs. Pete has done this, so this is our little profile. So that will sit nicely in the steel, and then we've got this extra bit here. We need to trim these down. I think we need to take about 10 mil or so off this, just to bring it in line with the existing joist, so our floor runs through nicely with the rest of the property. It's going to be a doorway here, but it's going to move slightly across, and then we'll go from the boot room into the shower room. There's going to be a bit of a nib across here, which will be in stud work, and then there's going to be a return that's going to come across there, which again will be in stud work, and then our door lining will sit in there. Then Alex is going to run the petrol saw down this point here, straight down there, and then that'll give us then our opening size. Go through into the garage. Hi Alex.
Good morning, mate.
In case you hadn't noticed, we've all had haircuts. Oh yeah, we're looking good for camera. So basically, well, where I was pointing to is here. So this opening will be widened. That little stud work nib will go on there. Am I close enough for you to see that? That's it, and then we'll do this little returning stud as well, like it says in the plan, and that will give us our opening size then. So this wall here is actually moving across to about here, and then a little bit of stud on there, and then that'll be all good. What we are going to do as well across here, you've seen that timber lintel which is on there. We're going to take that out. We're going to take this bit of brickwork out here, because it's actually only goes up to there. There's nothing above that, it's literally just brickwork in here. So we can just put timber frame in here above the door. Our pad stone is going to go in there. We'll put a concrete lintel on the back to carry the inner skin, which is the skin that goes straight up. So then that'll be nice and supported there. And then that's it for today. There's quite a lot to do, so we better crack on with it. Pete's not happy.
Yeah.
We've got back the table saw. Not Pete's table saw. And it has been abused. It's been borrowed. The blade's knackered. The extractor nozzle is gone. The moral of that story is...
Yeah, don't lend anyone anything.
Ever.
Yeah, just don't, you know what I mean?
So Pete's got all these machined up now. They're cut to length. We've got all our profiles cut so they'll sit nicely into the steels. Now all we need to do is just rip them down to the right height so it marries up with the existing floor. We've got most of Pete's table saw back. The fence is set up ready to the right depth. We've already got our laser level around the other side and measured up, so we're just going to get all these ripped down now, and then we can get them installed. Hello Shanghai YouTube, and welcome along to another day on site. So unfortunately we didn't get all the things we wanted to get done yesterday because we had to go off and do a few other things, which is unfortunately the nature of the job sometimes, but that's just what happens. And this morning I've had to take my van back because it's had a bit of a safety recall on a few things, which is entertaining. So what we're going to do is get this floor finished. Hi Pete.
Morning.
Peter's already started on the floor, getting the noggins in. So we're just getting the noggins and the webbing and the steel over there, as you can see. We've all cut these have been cut to 355, which gives us our 400 centres. So you literally tap them in, fix them in, and we know then we're nice and parallel all the way across. We've also got to trim these joists back here. You can see I've got our marks across, just on the top there. There we go, and I've plumbed them up on the other side as well, so they need to be trimmed off. And then we can put our double in across there, joist hangers on there as well, and that'll all be nice and secure. Then Alex can build that up into that wall over there. The guys have also got steel to go in over there, which we've sorted out, which is downstairs. Let's go down and I'll show you what they're doing. So this steel here, which is a bad boy, that is going in above that door, which will then hold the wall above it. There's also going to be a door cut in here, so there's effectively only going to be sort of half of that steel is going to be there, the rest of it will just be a doorway, so there's not really a lot of weight above that, but we're putting a nice big steel in there just in case. Next up, this area here will be the shower room, and that over there will be a garage area. So we've got to build a cavity wall in here. So what's going to happen is this section of the floor is going to be cut out across here, and then we'll have to dig down, dig a foot in, concrete footing in there, and then the wall can be built up off that. So these two guys are going to be busy. So our floor joists are all in. We've got all our perimeter noggins in. We've got our central noggins in as well. We've also got our noggins in the steel. We haven't been able to do these ones just here because we've got these cables coming through, which are a bit tight. So obviously we can't get any timber in there, but the electrician will be able to sort that out tomorrow when they get here. Next up, what we're going to do is get our joist hangers on these couple of joists here because they are over nothing down there. So we're going to get those hung up onto this double, and then that'll keep everything nice and solid. Downstairs, let's go and see what the guys have been getting on with. Liam has been working hard, and he has dug us a nice little foot in. So we've had building control around, and they are happy for us to go 600mm down. 600mm foot in on this job, yes! It's a little bit less than 2.5 meters. Luckily for Leah. So yeah, we're down 600mm down there now, so the guys are going to get this concrete up possibly today. We'll see how well it goes, and then tomorrow they can start building this up then. Alex has also been building this in here, so that's our steel that I mentioned earlier, and that was basically holding our steel over there, and we'll have the last few joists over there as well, so that is good. This will be turned into a cupboard, so although it's a doorway through at the minute, this will actually just be a cupboard, and this will be the main door into this room. So this has all been cut back ready, so we can just get our nibs sorted out, but that'll be another story for another day. So let's carry on. Bonjour YouTube, that's Portuguese for those of you out there that were wondering.
Come on, Portugal.
Welcome along to another day on site. So today, what are we doing? We are going to start on the roof of this dormer. So we've got all our fairing strips to get on up here. What we have got is some pre-made ones because, you know us, we like to be prepared. We've actually got them off another roof. They're 3-inch though, so what we're going to do is rip them down to 2-inch on here so they fit on nicely on here. we'll get it all noggined out, and then we can get our ply on top of that. We've also got our ladder frames to build on either side, so our roof obviously continues on past the walls. That will carry our fascia board around the external perimeter as well. We're going to get a few sheets of ply down on the floor in here and build our scaffold, our lovely G-deck scaffold up in here, so we can get to all this roof nice and easily and work on it safely. Pete's waiting on the sidelines for me to get out of the way and shut talking, basically. Hi, Pete.
Morning.
How's it going?
All right, mate.
All right. Oh yeah. You're
Great.
right.
Great to see you.
Great to see you too. Pretty much it for us up here today, but I'll go downstairs and show you what Alex and Liam are getting on with. So the guys today are going to be cracking on with this. So like I mentioned, this is our footing for our wall, which is going to come up here. So they're going to get that all concreted up now. There is an old gully in there which will be ripped out, that needs to come out of the way. We've also capped off the pipe down there that goes into our existing network out there. So that's been capped off nicely so it doesn't get filled with concrete. We're going to use our big diesel powered mixer to get this poured in nice and quick. And then the guys have got some other stuff to crack on with, which we'll show you in a bit. So let's go on with it. Right, these are the fairing strips that I mentioned. You can see that these are actually 3-inch timbers, so we need to rip these down now to 2-inch, so they're matching with our existing rafters. These were off a previous job that we put a flat roof on, and obviously we had to put a pitch on it, so these are basically the offcuts which we've kept for exactly this reason really. So we're just going to get these ripped down now, and then we can get them up there. Let's do it. Dzień dobry YouTube, and welcome along to another day on site. It's a bit of a sad day today because I'm on my own. Well, I'm not totally on my own. The sparkers and plumbers will be here very shortly to start the first fix. That is why I'm here. Everybody else has gone off to another job, just a little brief interlude, and then they will be back. But I've had to stay here just because the first fix is starting today and I want to make sure everything goes smoothly and everybody knows what's going on basically. So I am working on this roof today. I'm going to carry on with this. So I've already made a start just up there. I'm just going to basically get this ladder framing across this side, get our fascia board supporting timber across like we have there, across there as well. So you can just see I've got 2 legs poking out there. I'm just going to run my timber across the face of them now, just support underneath, get my timber across the front, and then I can infill then with all my legs across, get that packed up nicely, because Alex is going to have to pack underneath them because we're running slightly out with our heights between the original and the new house, so we want to make sure everything's bang on. And then I will be moving around to this side, so around here, yeah, basically I've got to replicate that around this side as well. Basically I need to run a rafter pretty much where that batten is, straight away up there, bolt that to the side. There's also another rafter that's got to be put in as well, where we cut one of the old ones out, so I'll get on that today as well hopefully, and then just carry on with the noggins and hopefully get some sheets of ply up there. So let's get on with it. Right, so that is our ladder frame complete. That's all in nicely where it needs to be. You can see there's a gap underneath here. That's obviously because we've run this through level. We didn't know exactly what our levels were going to be when we built this up, so that's why it's a little bit short. So it was fully intentional. Alex will just get some slips under there now, fill that in nicely, and then obviously build up between our legs here just to fill this in. Obviously we need to do that for fire regs. And then yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some of these fairing strips ripped down, because we've got to put one across the middle here and then obviously one across the edge. I also need to rip down a strip to run along the perimeter here, and then I'll get a couple more foam strips ripped down for that end as well.
So it's the end of the day, we've had a pretty productive one. Basically today's task was to get the perimeter noggins in. Been a bit of a task because Liam here had to chop back all the extended rafters, had to go through old nails and God knows what else. But he did a great job, just got it all ready, so this is all nice and neat now, ready to take the plasterboard. Same on this side. Also, what I've done, I've been able to cut in the insulation here. Now the reason why we do this, we've got a warm roof system going on, and this basically encapsulates the thermal envelope that we're going to be putting in, because rather than putting insulation in between these rafters, we're going to be fully insulating the flat roofs. And the reason why we do this is because there's no thermal break in between the joists, because usually you put insulation in between these bits. But as we're going to do a full sheet all the way over the flat roof, there's no thermal bridge, so that's a lot more efficient. It's better for your heating bill, so much better job. Insulation's going to be going in between these studs at some point, and this will just completely seal this entire building, so it's going to be absolutely mint in the lot cooler in the summer, a lot warmer in the winter, so spot on. So anyway, it's been a great day, and we're just going to have a good square up, good sweep up, get everything nice and neat, ready for the morning, so happy days, nice one.